Morning guys, well morning, no one knows it's morning, it could be night time for all I know. No, that's silly. That looks painful. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm in my car at the moment, I'm down the beach and I'm not going to be doing any seascapes. I want to take photographs. Behind me there's a load of beach huts and I've come down, it's early morning, the sun is quite low so the light is very nice, and I brought out a HOLGA with me. Quite enjoy shooting this HOLGA, it's a nice simple camera to use. If you don't want to think much, just go out and shoot a HOLGA. And I'm putting in a roll of HP5 400. Now recently, every time I've gone out and shot the HOLGA, I keep sticking the 400 in, and I kind of know which lighting conditions work best with the 400 film with the HOLGA, because there's only two apertures, f11 and f8. I've got the HOLGA set to overcast, which is what, around about f8, and then all I've got to do is just go around and take me pics. 400 speed does the rest for me, get back and develop the film. I've been having some good results lately with HP5 in X-Tol 1 part to 2. But I'm going to go out and shoot the HOLGA. I've got to load the roll inside the film now. I've also put a little tiny gizmo on top, so I can put that GoPro on top of it when I'm taking the shots, just see how that looks. I've never done that before for the channel. So this is 120 film. The HOLGA shoots 6x6 negatives, you can see it there. It's my favourite format, I'd say, 6x6. I don't know why, I just like I like the square format. Some people like McDonald's, other people like Burger King, you know. Whatever that means. So I'm about to stick this film inside the camera. I love shooting this HOLGA, so I think this is about my third or fourth video on the HOLGA, and I'm trying to get a collection of prints that I've shot exclusively on it. So in time, maybe I'll come out with some sort of little zine or something. With all my HOLGA collection. Oh, I've got these little bits of tape that I've put on the back of the camera. This is Gorilla Tape, and this is just to make sure the back door don't flip open or fall off while I'm taking my shots. A little tip if you've got a HOLGA, this one hasn't done it as much as some people's HOLGAs, which I'm quite pleased, but just stepping on the side of precaution, slap that on there. Let's go and shoot the HOLGA. Off we go. It's a beautiful morning. There's some woman down there doing yoga. So this is quite nice, got some nice reflections going on over there. Beach huts is what I want. I want to get close to them, but see that puddle there? If I get on the sand dune the other side, that might cast some nice reflections on those beach huts. I've gone the wrong way. Let's go this way. Bloody lost already. That woman's right into it over there. She's on the floor now. Oh god, that looks painful. Check this out, that's what I'm talking about. Can you see it? I spotted that from over there. Let's grab that shot, number one. And the thing is, I've got my shadow there from the sun behind me. That's a bummer, I'll have to get closer. So one of the things I'm having trouble with is that sun is direct in line with the beach huts, which means that if I stand in front of the beach hut to get it face on, I get my shadow in the shot. So that's no good. So I'm having to try and work at trying to find compositions, kind of a side angle, you know, to try and get anything. And the other thing is I'm trying to get photos of the doors, but the padlocks don't look that great. If I could find an old rusty padlock, that would be better. These modern padlocks aren't going to work for me. So carry on. And if you want to buy a beach hut on the Isle of Wight, there's a number right there you can acquire. They're quite a lot of money. I don't know how much these probably go for. I don't know, maybe 30, 40 grand. Don't get nicked. So I've now ditched the tripod. I've put the GoPro on top of the HOLGA so you can see my point of view when I'm shooting, hopefully. But I'm just looking for a beach hut that looks interesting, you know, with not so much of a modern padlock on it, which is going to be hard because anyone that owns a beach hut is going to put a good padlock on it. I might be lucky. I also like these old doorknobs. Now these are quite old, so I'll get one with one of these old doorknobs. It's locked, it must be locked. Yeah, they've got a lock inside. This one with these stripes again, you know, we've got some parallels going on as opposed to that one. So same knob, different door. Let's have a little look through this one. Same angle I'm going to go for because that's all I've got the option of. I think I might be too close though, that's the trouble. Let's come back a bit. I've got the HOLGA set in portrait mode, so it's probably around about 3 feet, I should imagine. Ah, the sun's just gone in, I can get it straight on shot. Excellent. Let's come get that doorknob to the side a little bit. Done. Those stairs look pretty cool over there. Let's have a look at them. There you go, a bit of wave coming in. So I'm on shot number 10. I've forgotten where my tripod was. Where's my tripod hut? Ah, there it is. Last shot, shot number 12. This is a sailing club. They put all their stuff here behind these railings. Looks real messy, but I like these balls here. I'm going to take a shot of these balls. Get this branch out of my way. And tuck that in there. Done. That's it. Oh, all 12 photographs taken. HP5. Let's get back, develop X-Tol 1 part to 2. See if it's any good. So those are the negs. They come out quite nice, and this is the contact sheet that I just showed you briefly on video making, and this has come out nice as well. Some nice photographs that I can work with. They're all not too bad, you know, bearing in mind this is a HOLGA camera, just point and go. These haven't come out too bad. The one that I did there at the beach, I can work with that one. I quite like that. I like the rusty, the rustic look of the wooden beach hut there, the one that's pretty weathered. That one looked quite nice. Even the one that I did between the beach huts, that come out nice as well. I think the padlock one was a little bit out of focus. Maybe I had the wrong settings on that one. The sea coming up on the stairs, that come out quite nice. But I do appear to have light leaks on the HOLGA. I don't think you see it on camera here, and on this one, and on this one, and on this one as well. So I've got a little bit of light leak going on. I have to figure out where that's coming from. But I've noticed I've got a very faint line going across this set, this particular negative here. Don't think I've got it on the others. that's a scratch. I've got a very slight scratch going all the way along. How that happened, I've not got a clue. I'm usually quite careful with my negs, so I'm going to have to see if that's on the gloss side. I might be able to nose grease that in. I'm not overly impressed with what I've got, to be honest with you, from the HOLGA, and I like this composition here. Unfortunately, I didn't realise I was going to get the top part of it in. Let's have a look at this old beach hut, this ruined beach hut. We'll have a look at that one. This negative has got that light scratch going along, so I need to do a quick test on that and see how deep it is. If it's on the gloss side, I might be able to nose grease it out, which I know is a big no-no to some labs and etc, etc, but this is just fun playing around in my darkroom, so I don't care if it gets ruined, to be honest with you. I wouldn't try it on any negs that you totally cherish, but I've done it once before, it works. Let's see if I can see how bad it is first. I've just done a quick test print across the scratch on the negative, and it's coming out as a very, very, very thin black line, which indicates to me that the scratch is on the emulsion side, not on the gloss side. If it was on the gloss side, it would be a white scratch. So I'm pretty stuffed. I don't think I can fix the emulsion side, at least I don't know how to. If it was the gloss side of the negative, I could have just rubbed some nose grease on it to diffuse it a bit, and hopefully that would have worked. But however, it is such a messy looking print anyway, because the beach hut was pretty knackered. I'm going to go ahead and make a print and see what I can do with it. Notice the discoloration of the paper here is because I didn't leave it in the fixer long enough. Look at that, I just dipped it in the fixer for probably about 15 seconds and then washed it. And that's the discoloration there that I've got when I turn the lights on. It's not too bad, it's quite a nice toned print. It's come out quite nice, but that scratch has just ruined it. So you can see it there, the black scratch going all the way across. You know, there's no point in me printing any of those negatives on that strip, unfortunately, but not a fantastic photograph, so I'm not really upset about it. Just more really upset the way I must have handled it during the process. I've obviously put a scratch along the emulsion side of those strips when I cut them somehow. Never mind. So I'm going to work on the first photograph that I took, which was the beach huts in that reflection. You can see there's a reflective area there, that large swell, water swell in the sand, and then there's the sand itself, there's the beach huts, there's the bushes behind, and there's the sky. Be nice if the bushes wasn't there and it was pure sky behind. That would make a nice photograph. It's quite busy what's going on, but who am I to start changing scenery around? Photoshop could have took them out, but what's the point in taking the photograph in the first place? So let's see what test strips this can give me, see if I can make a print out of this. So this is my test strip, straight 2.5 grade filter, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I know 8's it's all too dark that side. 2's too light, 4. Beach hut looks quite nice. I've got shadow details all in the background at 4 seconds. 6, I'm just starting to lose detail in those bushes. I'm going to go for 5 seconds. Let's have a look at what 5 seconds does. That's too dark, 5 seconds. I should have gone with 4, but I'm still going to need 5 seconds. That's okay, I can still need to do a little bit of dodging down here. Okay, so I'm going to go for a hunch. I'm going to do 4 seconds and then I'm going to dodge this area for 2 seconds, just the reflections here, to try and brighten that up. And then possibly just burn a little vignette down the bottom here. So I'm going to go for 4 seconds overall. This is just an idea that I've got. Then I'm going to, at the same time as this is burning for 4 seconds, I'm going to dodge this for 2 seconds, so that only gets 2 seconds, and then I'm going to burn that back in and give it a kind of vignette look. Let's see how that works. So I've just finished doing that one there. Get it straight. You can see the difference straight away. This was 5 seconds overall, and then this one was 4 seconds, and for 2 of those seconds I just stopped light hitting this area here, which meant this only got 2 seconds of light. That got 4 seconds, and then all I did was just burned in the bottom for another couple of seconds down here. So we've got brighter reflections of the beach huts, but I just wanted the beach huts to pop a little bit more. I could use contrast filters to try and do this, but I'm going to carry on dodging and burning. This time I'm going to do exactly the same for 4 seconds, but just for 1 second I'm going to throw the pencil in over the beach huts and off again, just so they can get a little bit lighter, and then carry on exactly the same. And there it is, the one that I've definitely brightened up the, I don't know how it's shown on camera there, but I've definitely brightened up the beach huts. Could have done with a little tiny bit more vignetting down the bottom, but I'm not going to go overkill on that. So I've definitely brought more detail out and made it pop a little bit more on this print here. The only thing is I've got a bloody hair sitting on the negative. Oh, drives you mad, doesn't it? So that was all fun and games in the darkroom. I thought I was going to come out with better negatives, I must admit, but nothing wrong with the development side of things. That seemed to have gone okay, but just this scratch along that middle section, which was a little bit frustrating, and also the light leak that I started getting on the HOLGA. Now, if any of you guys have seen this leak before, especially in that area, do let us know in the comments. I'll have to have a look at a HOLGA and see where it is, maybe tape up some bits and bobs on it. But I love shooting it, so it was good fun, especially going out this morning, taking photographs, doing something that I enjoy, getting back in the darkroom and making some prints. It's not all about coming back with the most wonderful photographs in the world. It's just a matter of enjoying yourself and doing what you enjoy to your best of your abilities, and that's what I've done here in the darkroom. I've managed to get a print for my little collection of HOLGA stuff, which I'm happy with. So it took, what, 3 sheets of paper to do? That weren't so bad, was it? Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time. So I ask her if she's got the time.